Hi Gemini, this is Kelly from Moonpietarot. Thank you for visiting my channel. This is your general love reading for the month of September 2016. I've already pulled your cards. We're doing, excuse me, a Celtic cross spread for this month. Okay, so let me get started. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Seven of Rods. So the overall energy for this month is some kind of defensive energy. Whenever I look at this card, the first thing I always think is, these two people here, they're not piercing each other with their weapons. They're basically in defensive mode, if you can see. One is defending themselves from the other. So something is going on for this month where you and another person, there's a lot of defensive energy. So I feel like you really need to pay attention to that, to see if there's someone in your life that you may be having some difficulty with. Sorry, my camera doesn't like to focus on its own. In your recent past, perhaps the last month or so, you're coming from a situation, Gemini, where you may have been in kind of like there may have been some arguments with someone. The Page of Swords usually talks about there may have been some mild conflict. There may have been some misunderstandings. It could have been through emails or texts or phone calls. Phone calls may have gone unanswered, and there could have been a feeling within you or another person that it caused some conflict. But this is really the past energy, and you are moving away from this now into the present situation, which you have the Emperor. Okay, and the Emperor talks about, this could be an Aries, but I really feel like it's more of an energy of getting things under control. Okay, so perhaps there was something that had happened in the past, some kind of conflict, and you've decided that you just didn't want to stay in that mental lock, and you just needed to get things in order in your life, put things in perspective. Okay, and crossing that in your challenge position is the Queen of Swords. So that can be your energy. Now, let me tell you, there are generally the court cards, I only view them as being representative of people. Okay, so the Queen of Swords usually represents an air sign, and I do feel like that is you as a Gemini. The Queen of Cups, well, let me just say, the Queen of Swords, I do feel like that is your energy, but it could also have something to do with either a Virgo or a Libra. Okay? Also Aquarius. But I feel like I also want to tell you with the Empress card here at the bottom, the Empress card represents Taurus or Libra, and Libra, so there could be a Libra. We could also have a water sign. Okay, so that could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So you may have perhaps you may have been dating several different people in the recent past, or one you may have been dating more, or another you may have just been friendly with. And I feel like and this is just for some of you, it could have caused some kind of conflict for you, and you really needed to get it straightened out. And kudos to you that you have that many suitors that you need to organize them in some way. But for some reason, when I started doing the reading, what was coming through for me mostly is Libra. Um, so I don't know if there could be a water sign with Libra in their chart, or there could be a Libra with perhaps water in their chart. So you'll have to try to kind of figure out what's happening. Um, but what's below you is the Empress, and the Empress really is she's about love and harmony, and she's about motherhood. There could be something to do with a child, perhaps, or a new baby, or maybe someone found out they are pregnant. Okay, this could be man or woman. And crowning you is the Queen of Cups. So, you know, I have a lot of different messages coming through right at this moment. So let me try and give you either either you may have found out that you are pregnant and you needed to make a decision about whether you wanted to keep this child or not. This could be for just a percentage of you. Okay, and with the Queen of Cups, that really talks about a maternal instinct. So, you could have a partner who's a Libra, or you could have a partner um, or an Aries. There could be someone in your life that there was some conflict with them about this situation, just for some of you. Um, it could also be there may have been some type of conflict about, maybe you wanted to get married or you wanted to have some type of a commitment with someone and you were really hoping and wishing for this. This could be with a water sign. Um, but let me just move forward into the near future here. I see this desire to hold on to either this relationship or this desire to, if some of you have found out that there's a baby on the way, a desire to keep the baby, a desire to covet, to hold on to this relationship regardless of whatever the conflict was in the past. Um, because I feel like you really, or your partner, or whomever you may have chosen to date, you really want to get some order and get rid of the chaos and, get some order in your life or even have a new beginning in a relationship. Okay. Um, it could also be your partner wanting to hold on to you or hold on to this relationship. And in the presence of you, with the Two of Rods down here, there's a decision that needs to be made. You may not know what you want because of this recent conflict that may have happened. You know, you may be, you may also just, if there is no baby in this situation and you're dealing with multiple people, you may be feeling indecisive about who you want to be with. Okay. Um, which could have caused the conflict. Perhaps maybe there were a couple of people that found out about each other. Perhaps these different people are wanting to hold on to you and you're undecisive about who you're interested in. But in the position of your environment and how others are viewing you, there is a possibility that some of these people could be viewing you as being careless with them or with their emotions, or maybe they feel like you're being flaky because you can't decide who you want to be with. And this really is just all for, you could also, this conflict from the recent past could also just be your energy where you're conflicted within yourself and you're trying to put things in order because you do know what it is that you want, you know, and you're trying to you're trying to figure it out and you're just really not sure who would be the best match for you. So I feel like, you know, and that would make sense coming through with this Seven of Rods because there's kind of like this defensive energy. There could be others who are, trying to get you to make a decision, and you really could just be like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to do. I'm not sure, you know, excuse me. You could be on, two sides of the same coin, really not choosing which partner to pick, or you could have someone that you're involved with that could be dating multiple people, and you know you're wanting them to choose you, um, and you could be feeling very, like discouraged because you really want to have a new beginning. These are a lot of different messages for a lot of different people, and please, for those of you that are in a relationship and just dealing with a few minor issues or even major ones, please don't think that I'm telling you that the reason you're having this conflict is because your partner is sneaking around. I don't feel like there is a possibility for some of you, but if you know that for a fact, okay, then I would heed the advice. But if you are just assuming, then it's really never a good idea to go down that road. Because with the Four of Pentacles, I do see coveting, so there could be someone trying to hide something, okay, and not wanting anyone else to know or to see what's happening, right? Your hopes and fears, you have the Strength card. So I can't even really imagine a time where strength would be considered a fear. But in this situation, for you, it could be because it may require you to reach down and pull up resources of strength that you didn't know you had, and it may be scary for you. But at the same time, that's a benefit. And that's a good thing. And it's really saying that that's something that you need to, I don't want to say brace yourself, but you really need to spend this month making a decision, because for those of you who are dating multiple people, I do feel like there is, these are not necessarily negative people in your life, but I feel like it's fair to them for you to make a decision. Okay, and for those of you who are in a relationship and dealing with some mild conflicts, um, this really could just be about you knowing that you don't want to lose that person, but you have got to decide about what's right for you. And also to perhaps show them that you are a strong person, that you are not careless with their feelings and you are not careless about this relationship. Okay. Um, mm-mm. You have the Five of Pentacles in the outcome position. So fives are about instability and challenges. So this will be a bit of a challenging month. Like I said, with the Seven of Rods, there is some kind of a defensive energy. Um, so I feel like again, with the Strength card, you're going to have to reach and dig down deep and find the strength to deal with whatever the situation is happening, and make a decision for this month, either between two people or about a situation that is happening in your life right now, whether it be a new pregnancy or finding out about a pregnancy, or whether it's about having a new beginning. I always see the Empress card as the mother card, so it could have something to do with a parent, a mother. Okay, and that mother she could be a Libra, or she could be a water sign. So challenging. It is challenging energy for this month, but I feel like with the Strength card, you will prevail. The Queen of Cups crowning your reading can also be telling you to, when I put it together with the Strength card, could also be telling you to really reach deep down inside in a very thoughtful way and get in touch with your intuition and your emotions and find the strength that you need to deal with whatever the situation is that's happening right now. Because I do feel like, there is, I don't feel like it's a major thing. Sorry about my, these guys never want to come through. I don't feel like it's like a super major thing. I do just feel like there's some decisions need to be made, and they're going to be important decisions for you, and you will have to really buckle down and try to figure out how to, what you want to do. Okay, I can't even get my camera to focus now, so I'm just going to end the reading here. So, I hope I was able to help in some way. If you need a personal reading or something more clarity on the situation, because there's a lot of different messages coming through here. But like I said, if you need any clarity on anything in this reading, please feel free to message me for a personal reading. And I do hope that you have a wonderful September, and I will see you in October. Okay, thanks. Bye.